All right, I think this is working. I'm just gonna double check. I believe so. We should be good. And my phone is buffering the video. Test. I believe so. Okay, sweet. So, anyways, as you can see by the title, this is a Season 2 mid-season review. Second season, or Season 2 second half of the year preview. Just kind of going to go through the schedule, just kind of talk about some of the standouts, some of the disappointments, etc. 7-1 on the year on a 7-game win streak. Pretty solid. Opened the year with a loss to Jacksonville. We'll dive into this one. Fell apart. Threw an early pick six and just kind of went down the drain from there. 5 picks, just really an awful performance by my team. Realistically. Gronk, 2 for 33, Dorsett, 2. Overall, just didn't have a lot of offensive plays. He had, nearly 30 more plays than me. So, yeah, I went only through 23 passes, ran it 6 times. So, not necessarily what I want out of a production standpoint, clearly. This was really the only true upsetting and frustrating game I've realistically had. Bounced back with the Lions in a 48-13 shootout. Brady threw, I think, 4 or 5 touchdowns, 330. Did have a couple picks. I started off the year throwing quite a bit of picks. Didn't necessarily find what I wanted. Ground game got back going. Cooks and Dorsett had huge games. Cooks especially. Gronk still started off slow. First game, 2 catches, 30 yards. Second game, 4 catches, 50 yards. So, going through the first 2 weeks, having Gronk 60 catches, 6 catches for under 70 yards is a pretty staggering number. That's normally his worst type of game every year. Bounced back again. Solid win over the Titans. 4 touchdowns. Yeah, that one pick I had was stupid. I was throwing it to try and convert a first, threw a pick. Stupid. Should have ran it. Ground game really hasn't been that great this year. We'll get into that later. Gronk had another big game. Those 3 guys just dominated. Moving on, Bills. That was a CPU game. Not going to get into that. They scored a touchdown with like 20 seconds left. Steelers. They were one of my 3 losses last year. Yeah, they were my only AFC team I lost to last year, other than the Jags in the playoffs. Played really solid again. Again, another game with just one annoying interception that I shouldn't have thrown. Ground game was a meh. Everyone kind of got a little bit of action in there. No real big performers, honestly. So, going on to the Colts CPU game. Broncos. It's a very interesting game. Threw 2 picks. 2 touchdowns, though. Had a solid ground game performance due to Gillislee having like a 60-yard touchdown. What was that? 75. So, where else was it? Oh, receiving. Dorsett had a big game. Dorsett, Edelman, Gronk, Cooks. Edelman actually finally had a little bit of production. He's normally not a huge spotlight now. Maybe he will be next year, but I don't know. Then last week against the Dolphins, their CPU now, while the other guy takes a few days to join, but everything's good right now. I played a user. 4 touchdowns, no picks, 280. I finally 88% completion percentage. 88 completion percentage. Don't need the double percentage. Finally figured out how I need to run this offense to be successful. Had a good ground game, really good ground game. Just kind of figured out what I need to be doing differently. So, we're all back on track. Looking ahead. We're advancing tonight. I got the Jets. They are like, 4-2, going to be 5-2. Maybe they already are 5-2. Going to be 4-3. Whatever. They're gonna have a winning record, 4-3 or 5-2 when we play. Tough game. I beat him both times last year, but he vastly improved that roster. So we'll see. That could be a struggle. Then we have the Bears up. Should get a win out of it. I know what he likes to do quite a bit from playing quite a bit of games against him. Bills, again, they're kind of a bottom-tier team right now. He just needs to get a few more pieces. Then he'll start getting some real challenging games with me. Packers in Lambeau. Don't know much about the user. I'll have to watch some film. Not a bad user from what I've seen a few games and some scores. So we'll see how that one goes. Dolphins, I know the new user that's coming in. Was the Redskins for a week until he had to drop for some stuff. Now he's back. Should win that game just on pure talent of the team differences. So Patriots have a lot more talent. Texans is going to be a huge game. We're both 7-1. This is going to come down to who gets a bye, who gets the 2 seed or 3 seed, unless the Jags fall off. So this is going to be a pretty big game. Jets again, went over the Jets, got the second game against the Jets, and then ending the season with the Vikings. This is going to be a tough matchup. He plays really well with them. I'm hoping this game doesn't matter. I'm hoping that I can sit some starters after the first quarter and that it doesn't matter, so that it's not a Week 17 I need to play good against one of the better users. So we will see. Taking a look at the playoff situations as of right now. Oh, the Jets, they're 5-2, so they're going to be 6-2 or 5-3. So they got a little bit of steam on me here. Looking at the AFC playoff picture, currently gives me the number 1 seed, which is kind of a joke. Jaguars hold a tiebreaker over me. Interesting. Oh, that'll probably get fixed. Maybe it's just ranking. Yeah. Anyways, I'm 7-1, Jaguars 7-1, Texans are 7-1. It's going to come down to which of us loses. Texans and Jaguars both split the series 1-1. So that tiebreaker would come down to points, I think, or record against common opponents. So if the Texans beat me, then I don't know. If the Texans lose to me, Jaguars would have tiebreaker over the Texans, even if they lost a game. So that's that for those guys. Otherwise, Jets, Chiefs, Browns, Chargers, Ravens all in the hunt. Right now, I'd get the AFC East. I'll say Jags take the South, Chiefs the West, Browns the North, and then the wild cards would be Texans and Jets. So, Chargers in the hunt, Ravens in the hunt, and Titans are in the hunt. I mean, Broncos are a good user if they catch some steam. Same with the Steelers, maybe. I think it's pretty impossible for these guys all to make it. Broncos if they catch some steam, depending on what their schedule's like. Quick peek at the NFC. So, Saints, Falcons, one of them will get them. So, got the South winner, East winner, West winner, North winner, playoff team. So, that's kind of how it's going to go. Fairly similar to last year, minus the Jets in the AFC and the Broncos. I'm going to look at some team stats, and then we'll look at individual. So currently, with me not even playing a game this week, I have the number 4 offense in yards gained, 3 in total yards. Oh, no, I'm less than that. Oh, whatever. Number 4 in offense. Currently, I've dropped a little in passing just because I didn't play this week. Rushing, I'm not necessarily a great running team this year. I just don't run the ball a ton. You know what? I'm about middle of the pack. Points per game, I'm near the top. I'm 5th in points allowed. I should have the number 1 passing touchdowns, one of the lowest rushing touchdown numbers. I need to get those up significantly. So, realistically, I just try to run it, get nowhere on the goal line, get pissed, throw it. That's how it works. Combined touchdowns, I'm probably at the top. Yeah, I'm right around the top. First downs, this year's a really funky year. I don't get into third down situations a lot, and if I do, I'm punting. So, total defense, I'm number 2. So, and keep in mind, well, no, these are actually all pretty good stats. Never mind. Yeah, well, I'm number 2 in the pass, like number 5 or 6 in the run. 6, 7, 8, 9 in the run, whatever. Top 10 run defense, number 2 pass defense. Points allowed, this was what was crazy. Before we, like right after we advanced, I was 2 points or 3 points ahead of the Saints right before we advanced, whatever it was. And I had 92 points allowed. No, it was 95. 95 points allowed. The other 2 teams there was one other team below me and one team ahead of me, and they had all played 2 less games than me. So now they played 2 more games, and boom, I have a significant scoring lead. This Jets-Patriots game is going to be pretty low scoring. Sacks, I'm in the top 10. Right around here. That's pretty good. I'm happy with that result. I don't force a ton of fumbles, but that's whatever, or recover fumbles. But interceptions-wise, near the top, I think. Yeah, about midway, 17. I just need to go up a little bit, but it's all right. Conversions, normally I'm up in that 50%, high 40s. This year I'm in the 30s. I'm pretty sure. I'm one of the worst. Yeah, second worst at converting third downs. I also attempt the least amount of third down attempts. So, yeah, that is something I just need to, I don't know, something I just kind of need to work on, I guess you could say. Very frustrating. Get into a lot of third down situations and you can't convert. Granted, these teams down here aren't really, the top guy is double my attempts on third down. So, fourth down, I don't even know if I've gone for a fourth down attempt. I've gone for 3. I haven't gone for a 2-point conversion. Now, red zone efficiency, this is where I thrive. Third best team, was the best. Second best defensive trip. I've allowed 13 trips into the red zone. We don't allow people to get into the red zone, and then we don't allow people to score. That is what's going to win me games here, especially come playoff time. Low on penalties, etc. And then now kind of looking into, I can look at awards here in a second. Looking into individual stats. Tom Brady, 27 touchdowns, 17 picks, 2,500 yards nearly. Now, if you look, we had 2 games, one with 5, one with 4. That's 9. You take those away. What are we at? 8. What? 7? No, 8. Yeah, 8. So, if I don't play garbage, 8, 9, 10 touchdowns, really good. 11 sacks. Realistically had a pretty solid year passing. I'm starting to tweak how I play, and that's cutting down the turnovers. So, rushing, I'm averaging 4.5 yards a carry. So, I'm getting places. I'm just not running a ton. I just need to start running more. Other than that, no. Things are going great in the run game. Receiving game, things are shaping up to be really good. These guys are all on pace to have phenomenal years. These guys are all going to have 1,000 yards, 70 catches, 10-plus touchdowns. It's really fun. It's normally been relying on Gronk, most of the time. But now, people taking a lot of coverage to Gronk is really opening that up for Dorsett and Cooks. And Dorsett is having a fantastic year. Looking kind of at his stuff here, already career high in catches, career high in yards, doubled touchdowns in his career. Just everything is great. He is doing phenomenal work. And he kind of came on in the playoffs for me, and then boom, into the regular season. Blocking, Shaq Mason hasn't allowed a sack. I've not allowed a ton of sacks. Traded away the guy who did allow a lot. So defensively, got to get more sacks. I mean, Rivers and Flowers doing all right. They'll probably get 10 apiece. Just need to get a little more edge rushing production. Same with my secondary. Dropping a lot of picks this year. Especially these Jenkins, 2 of them aren't even for me. So, kicking, Brandon McManus, solid. Missed 2 or 3 extra points in a game because of lag. Overall, not a bad year. Punting, this punter's pretty solid. 95 kick power rookie I found. So, he's all right. I'm glad I got him. Turning game, all right. Well, that's kind of how it's working out. We'll just check out awards quick and wrap up the video. Ezekiel Elliott's leading MVP. Mahomes 2. Brady 3. Coach of the year, I'm up there. We'll kind of see how things are going. Offensive player of the year, Crowell, Sutton, Watson. Brady's pretty low on that. That's pretty crazy. Jaguars, those defensive players. Rookie of the year, yeah. Defensive player of the year. Oh, yeah, or defensive rookie of the year. Yeah, got some solid guys. Best QB. Now that's hilarious. Offensive player of the year. Mahomes and Watson are ahead. But Brady's, I don't know, man. Don't get it. Best receiver, Cooks, Dorsett, 2 and 3. That's special. That is some special doing here. Best O-line, got Shaq Mason, Cam Fleming, David Andrews. It's always nice. Best D-line, no one. Interesting. Linebacker, nobody. DB, nobody. Oh, D-Mac, all right. Kicker, 10th. Hey. So that's kind of where we're at. Kind of looking out. We will do another video wrapping up the season.